and welcome to County Board Wrap-Up. I'm Kara O'Donnell, and this is our monthly look at the decisions made by the Arlington County Board that affect you, your neighborhood, and our community. You've also been getting some public input on the General Assembly legislative package. We've talked about this several times, but this is after you've really had a chance to get that input.
Absolutely. That's what's different between last month and this month. Is last month we had the public hearing, which was, I wouldn't say neither ended nor started our public engagement process, because our package is developed with the insight of, or the draft package is developed with the insight of the commissions and some public comments. But I think having that hearing really touches off a lot more engagement from individual citizens or groups like our Civic Federation, which was quite active this year. And so in the month between November and December, we had a chance to dig into some of those suggestions they made. We also had a joint work session with our legislative delegation, which was a chance to get their reactions to some of the ideas. The likelihood of certain prospects or that certain bills might have of passing in this year's General Assembly session, where Arlington could most effectively add our support or add our voice. So it was, I think, an unusually highly participatory year in terms of developing that package, which was a really positive thing. You know, just to point to a couple of examples, the inclusion of our support for the Equal Rights Amendment really, I think, was driven by a ton of community engagement and support for that, which is really exciting to see.
Well, and only one more state is needed for ratification, and wouldn't it be phenomenal where Virginia's place is in the heart of American history for the Commonwealth to take us over the line?
Absolutely,
that would be pretty cool.
And the other example too of something in our legislative package as a result of that public engagement or that conversation process is that we added a lot more specificity to the provisions that we support around net metering, which is a key tool for achieving environmental sustainability with solar in particular, as well as other alternative energy forms. So we added a lot more specificity at the request of the Sierra Club, our E2C2 Advisory Commission, and in partnership with our General Assembly, who told us this was an opportunity for us to get a little more specific and add our voices to a growing coalition around some net metering reforms.
Well, and so I mean, I think that's a perfect example of how our legislative package, it's not just about asking Richmond for more money, it's also asking Richmond for more authority, more flexibility, local control to do the things that we prioritize as a community. And honestly, what we're asking for in this package is very consistent with the priorities of the Virginia Association of Counties, on which I served on the board. You're on the board of the Virginia Municipal League, VML. So this is really, in large part, consistent with what other localities are looking to do across the Commonwealth.
And what are some of the kind of early news we're seeing coming out of Richmond?
Absolutely. So it's going to be a short session, which is to say not a budget session. That said, there have been some real changes in the revenue picture for the state. I have to say I'm a little envious at a time when our revenue picture is looking a little less positive. The state is awash in new sources of revenue. The budget revenue picture is coming back rosier than was predicted with the biennial budget, on top of which there have been some major federal actions. The judicial decision on the Wayfair case, which will present new revenues to the state coming from internet sales taxes, and then some somewhat complicated intergovernmental impacts of the federal tax policy bill essentially means that the state is also looking at new revenue. So the General Assembly this year has the enviable task of trying to figure out what to do with more money. And so, we'll be continuing to make the case. And actually, we're really pleased to see Governor Northam's proposal that some of that money goes back into core services like schools and transportation in particular. Arlington is really exceeds expectations in terms of the levels of funding that we have for roads, transportation, and education coming out of our local dollars, but we really need the state to be a partner. And so we're excited to see that the governor's made that the case, and we hope the General Assembly will be following his lead.
And if you want to tell us what you think about these and other issues, visit our county website, topics.arlingtonva.us/engage. I'm Kara O'Donnell, and we'll see you next year right here on County Board Wrap.